going to be reading an essay written by Allen Ginsberg called Poetry, Violence, and the Trembling Lambs.
Recent history is a record of the vast conspiracy to pose one level of mechanical consciousness on mankind and exterminate all manifestations of that unique part of human sentiments identical in all men, which the individual shares with his Creator. The suppression of contemplative individuality is nearly complete. The only immediate historical data that we can know and act on are those fed to our senses through systems of mass communication. These media are exactly the places where the deepest and most personal sensitivities and confessions of reality are most prohibited, mocked, and suppressed. At the same time, there is a crack in the mass consciousness of America. Sudden emergence of insight into a vast, national, subconscious netherworld filled with nerve gases, universal death bombs, malevolent bureaucracies, secret police systems, drugs that open the door to God, ships leaving Earth, unknown chemical terrors, evil dreams at hand. Because systems of mass communication communicate only officially acceptable levels of reality, no one can know the extent of the secret unconscious life. No one in America can know what will happen. No one is in real control. America is having a nervous breakdown. Poetry is the record of individual insights into the secret soul of the individual. And because all individuals are one in the eyes of their Creator, in the soul of the world has a soul. America is having a nervous breakdown. San Francisco is one of many places where a few individuals, poets, have had the luck and the courage and fate to glimpse something new through the crack in the mass consciousness. They have been exposed to some insight into their own nature, the nature of God. Therefore, there has been great exaltation, despair, prophecy, strain, suicide, secrecy, and public gaiety among the poets of the city. Those of the general populace whose individual perception is sufficiently weak to be formed, one, stereotypes of mass communication, disapprove and deny the insight. But the police and the newspapers have moved in, and the movie manufacturers from Hollywood are at this moment preparing bestial stereotypes of the scene. But the poets and those who share their activities or exhibit signs of distress, hair, or demeanor of understanding or hipness are ridiculed. Those of us who have used certain benevolent drugs, marijuana, to alter their consciousness in order to gain insight are hunted down in the street by police. Peyote and historical vision-producing agents are prohibited on the pain of arrest. Those who have used opiates and junk are threatened with permanent jail and death. To be a junkie in America is like having been a Jew in Nazi Germany. A huge sadistic police bureaucracy has risen in every state, encouraged by the central government to persecute the Illuminati, to brainwash the public with official lies about the drugs, and to testify and destroy those addicts whose spiritual search has made them sick. Deviants from the mass sexual stereotype, quietists, those who will not work for money, or fib and make arms for hire, or join armies in murder and threat, those who wish to loaf, think, rest in their visions, act beautifully on their own, speak truthfully in public, inspired by democracy. What is their psychic fate now in America? In America, the greater portion of whose economy is yoked to mental and mechanical preparations for war. Literature expressing these insights have been mocked, misinterpreted, and suppressed by a horde of middlemen whose fearful allegiance to the organization of mass stereotype communication prevents them from sympathy, not only with their own inner nature, but with any manifestation of unconditioned individuality. I mean journalists, commercial publishers, book review fellows, multitudes of professors of literature, etc., etc., etc. Poetry is hated. Whole schools of academic criticism have risen to prove that human consciousness of unconditioned spirit is a myth. A poetic renaissance glimpsed in San Francisco has been responded to with ugliness, anger, jealousy, viral, sullen protestations of superiority, and violence by police, by customs officials, post office employers, trustees of great universities, by anyone whose love of power has led them to a position where he can push other people around over difference of opinion or vision. The stakes are too great. An America going mad with materialism, a police state America, a sexless and soulless America, prepared to battle the world in defense of a false image of its authority. Not the wild and beautiful America of the comrades Whitman, not the historical America of Blake and Thoreau, where the spiritual independence of each individual was in America, a universe more huge and awesome than all the abstract bureaucracies and authoritative officialdoms of the world combined. Only those who have entered the world of spirit know what a vast flap there is in the illusionary appearance of a worldly authority. And all men at one time or other enter the spirit, whether it be in life or in death. How many hypocrites are there in America? How many trembling lambs fearful of discovery? What authority have we set up over ourselves that we are not as we are? Who shall prohibit an art from being published to the world? What conspiracies have power to determine our mode of consciousness, our sexual enjoyments, our different labors, and our loves? What themes determine our wars? When will we discover in America that will not deny its own God, who takes up arms, money, police, and a million hands to murder the consciousness of God, who spits in the beautiful face of poetry, which sings of the glory of God and weeps into the dust of the world?